So Chief, where are you from?
I'm from a little city called Oconto, Wisconsin. It's just a little bit north of Green Bay, a little south of Marinette.
Okay.
Kind of right in between there, about 30 miles approximately.
So how long have you been a fireman?
I've been doing this for 20 plus years, 21 now, and fire chief for this will be my 6th year.
6 years. And how did you come down to Oregon to take this job?
Well, I was born and raised in Oconto, and I guess I never really thought there was anything other than Oconto, but I've kind of prepared myself as I went through my life to have a possibility like this, and without knowing I'd ever do it, I just wanted to make sure I was prepared. And an opportunity came up one day. I just happened to be looking, and it was the right fit. I still, when it was all happening, we still didn't believe it, and I guess they say things will happen if they're meant to be, and it was one of those deals. Yeah, just real nice community. Our community was about 4,500, but it was a lot like this community, and older, but yet there's a newer part too. We had a river running through it, and with all the lakes around here and the school systems and everything, it was just a really good fit for, we felt, my wife and I, for our family.
Good. And your family's down here now, and you're settled in? And
yeah, I started June 1st. They came down in the beginning, a little towards the end of August, and then so they were prepared to go to school September 1st, and they've been here since then, and they've transitioned well so far. They really like everything they have to offer here. It's been a real good fit.
So over 2 decades of being a firefighter,
yep.
What are some things that have changed in terms of even technology in fighting fires? Now, I will say, about 2-3 years ago, I went in with the team into a burning house. It was simulated, but it was real to me. When I went in there, they lit a corner of the room, and it was dangerous.
Yeah.
I went in there, they suited me up. The front of my camera melted. In a minute and a half, that place was in blaze. So it's a scary job that the normal citizen doesn't see. So talk about technology that the 20 some odd years.
Absolutely. Well, they say fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. So that was when a lot of things were made out of wood, and some of the combustibles that we have today are so much different with the plastics and all of the different type of materials that we use. That's one of the biggest changes. So the fire dynamics are so much different now than what they were back, even 20 years ago. And that puts a big spin on things when you use different tactics and different ways to rescue people, the amount of time that you have, and all of the different things that go into it. It changes daily, and that's why we're always training, and we're always doing new techniques and whatever it takes to stay on top of those types of things.
So with today's materials, do fires spread quicker then?
Yeah, I believe they do. They're a lot hotter too,
They're
and the
hot.
smoke that the off gases are of all it's not wood anymore. It's plastics and like really dense materials, and it really makes a big difference now in today's world.
Well, recently, or a few months back, Hacks caught on fire.
Yeah.
And our station is right behind that, and it had just started maybe 15 minutes prior to that. And the thing that really surprised me was the smoke that came from that.
That was a lightweight construction building, and that day the conditions were just, they were unfavorable for us. It was high winds, it was about 20, 30 mile an hour winds, and when the fire got up top, it just spread through that building so rapidly. We have pictures that show within 5 minutes, the amount of fire.
Absolutely, we were there, we took some photos
yeah,
and film,
it was amazing.
It went quickly.
Yeah, it was the
hot.
third day here, the third or fourth day here.
And you got the biggest fire Oregon has seen probably in its near history. That fire, we're across the street, and the heat is intense from that. But I will say, watching our department and then a collaboration of other departments, they saved the building next to it, which was probably 12 feet, 15 feet from the main structure. They got on it and saved it. It's preserved today. So that's really a hats off to.
And communication's essential. You can guarantee that those guys were talking, and we're making sure that everybody's on the same page. And it's something that we take very seriously. And we'll risk a lot to save a lot, but we'll risk little to save little. And that's a situation where we knew everybody was out of the building, and there wasn't any reason to send firefighters in there because it was already pretty much a lost cause, we've determined. And it was what becomes more important to us then is saving the structures around it. And the guys did an excellent job doing that. And at the end of the day, it's one of the things that bothers me in this profession a little bit is guys will do an excellent job, they'll risk their lives, they'll save a property, and then 2 weeks later I'll go by and they're bulldozing it for insurance reasons,
Right.
And I understand why that happens, but it's just, we risk a lot. And
you did. You could have just let it burn and contain the area.
They did an excellent job. We have a great crew here in Oregon. That's one of the things that brought me here is the guys do an excellent job, and this village or the district is very, very fortunate.
What What is the great thing about working as a firefighter and being the chief in a town like ours?
Well, I've only been here 4 months now, so we're still learning and adapting. But the small town, the small community is always, you get to know people a lot more, and it's a lot more personable, and it's always something that meant a lot to me, is getting to go out to the schools and going around to different businesses, and people know you by first name. You're not somebody who, and sometimes in bigger cities that gets forgotten, and it's just a position, and that's something that means a lot to me, and a lot to what we do, and making sure that we made a positive image, and we're just part of the community. That's what we want to be. We don't want to be just another fire department.
As our community grows, is there anything the fire department needs as you look into the future? Maybe more firemen or equipment?
Well, I've only, like I said, been here 4 months, and we've started to look at some of those things. I can tell you that the joint board and the commission have been excellent to work with, and they've kind of had the attitude, whatever you need, let us know within reason, and we'll do our best to get it to you. So that's really refreshing to know that they're behind us 100% and willing to do whatever it needs to be done based on our recommendations. And with that being said, we're not, well, we need this brand new lights and sirens and shiny big whistle ticket item either, but we're looking at possibly a new ambulance, hiring another person, and those are things that we can justify, and they're right on board so far. So it's really been refreshing.
Chief, it's been a great time talking to you. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
It's been great being welcomed in the community like my family and I have been, and we look forward to being a part of this community for a long time. So.
Great. I love the pancake breakfasts you have.
Yeah, that was a good time this year.
I think there's one coming up, isn't there?
We just had that on Sunday.
You had one, but isn't there another one later in the... I'm hoping there is. I'm not sure there is.
I've heard they had two, so I'm not real
up.
sure myself, but as we progress, hopefully we'll see that out there.
Well, thanks for spending time with us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.